My practice profile is a health law practice, which consists of about 50% of my practice is medical malpractice litigation, in which I defend hospitals and nurses. The other half of my practice involves working with healthcare institutions, hospitals, retirement homes, long-term care centers, and community care providers to provide advocacy and general advice in a non-insured setting. So administrative law, public inquiries, commissions of inquiry, coroner's inquests, etc. I also provide general counsel advice, helping healthcare institutions working their way through general legal questions affecting their day-to-day work. I ended up in the practice of health law really through chance. I went to Queen's Law, where there was a vibrant health law community at the time, and was interested in it. So joined BLG to explore the health law practice, and then found in that practice a group of lawyers and clients who have provided an incredibly stimulating and engaging environment for me, and have kept me working with them all along. I think what I bring to the practice that is most helpful to my clients is an ability to see the big picture, to look at the legal question they're asking me and frame it appropriately in the complicated context of the healthcare environment. So when I'm working with hospitals and other public institutions, we're looking not only at their legal questions, but also the public interest considerations, public relations considerations, government relations, and framing my legal advice within that important context, and understanding that sometimes it's not a purely legal answer that's going to be the best answer for them, but understanding how their business works, how they have to respond to their clients, being us really the taxpayers, and making sure that the legal advice I give takes into account these important public questions. I find the practice of law very meaningful. I mean, I think at a base level, anyone who's practicing law, if they sit and think about it, will find it to be meaningful, because these legal questions, whatever we're doing, are foundational to society. The practice that I've chosen, and that I've been lucky to have chosen me, is very meaningful. And the reason I find it meaningful is I'm working with clients who are public institutions, who are publicly funded, and who are staffed generally, and when I say staffed, I mean healthcare providers and their administrators, by people who have joined a very challenging industry, who have done that because they're people who care about others, who have given their lives really to the assistance of others in very challenging circumstances. So to the extent that I get to help them in either defending them in unfortunate circumstances or working towards a better system, I feel very gratified to get to contribute in that way. And that little tidbit of legal insight or legal advice that I can give them that makes our healthcare system a little bit better is to me a very meaningful contribution. One of my most interesting recent experiences involving teamwork was in the context of a new class action in which we were forced to make some fairly high-level strategic decisions quite early on in the litigation, and there were significant public law, administrative law issues, government relation issues, and various statutory immunities we needed to consider in making these decisions. What I was able to do was invite a number of our BLG lawyers, and I picked, our leading class action lawyers, our leading research lawyers, our leading public law lawyers. We have the good fortune of having Dennis O'Connor in-house, so inviting Dennis into a blue sky session. We invited our clients in and sat down and spent a couple of hours on a non-billable basis, just really working through the strategy and the end game and coming up with what we think is the best solution for the client. But it was an incredibly collaborative exercise. It was so fascinating for us as the lawyers. The law nerds really got a lot out of it. The clients got to see the inside of the workings of the firm. And all of my colleagues being very happy to come and sit in on a non-billable basis and really engage in this discussion was something that was exciting for us to do, and I really think will be incredibly helpful to the client. A lot of the volunteer work I do is associated with hospital clients. I do an awful lot of fundraising and volunteering with those hospital clients. to me, it's been incredibly meaningful because not only do I get to give back to the clients and to their clients, which are the patients, I get to deepen my relationship with my clients. I get to understand their business better. We all end up in a place where I understand what they're doing. I get to contribute. They get to get this kind of added value from their lawyers aside from the legal advice. But really, the collaborative experience with the clients has been incredibly rewarding for me and has been, I think, a really important part of my practice and my life.